This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Kingston cashier accused of pocketing $3.2 million from company. A former employee at T. Geddes Grant Limited, accused of stealing $3.2 million from the company, is to return to the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on October 7. Charged with larceny as a servant and unauthorized access to data is Janiel King, who is of a Kingston address. The 27-year-old was employed to the company as a cashier when the funds went missing. Allegations are that between March 7 and May 2 this year, King reportedly collected money from customers for goods purchased and pocketed the sums. It is further alleged that she then gained access to customers' credit and debit cards and used them to replace the money which she had reportedly stolen. The fraud was reportedly discovered during an audit. King was subsequently arrested and charged and was released on $200,000 station bail. On Wednesday, when she appeared in court, Parish Judge Maxine Dennis McPherson varied her bail and added reporting conditions. She was also instructed to surrender her travel documents with a stop order to be enforced at all ports as part of her bail conditions. She was, however, not arraigned as her lawyer, Althea Freeman, requested disclosure to facilitate taking further instructions from her client. King's bail was then extended. Licensed firearm holders can defend regular sentences, says FLA. Head of the Firearm Licensing Authority, Shane Darlin, has pointed out that licensed firearm holders have the same right as unarmed citizens to intervene when they can when a crime is being committed against another person. The firearm is granted to an individual to protect the life and the property, not only his life and his property. If a license holder should see someone in distress, they can intervene, just like any private citizen could intervene, not having a firearm. A citizen has the right to arrest. They can see something going wrong and effect a citizen's arrest or hold the person for such a period of time until the police arrives, he outlined in an interview with the news. The FLA CEO was speaking against the background of Tuesday's incident in which a licensed firearm holder foiled the attempted robbery of a nurse a short distance away from police headquarters in St. Andrew, shooting one of the assailants. Over the years, licensed firearm holders have intervened in several such attacks on citizens. So what the license holder did in that case, although I don't have all the facts, would be okay, he remarked. At the same time, he noted that in all situations, the actions of firearm holders must be commensurate with the threat at the time. Licensed holders are given safety training and training on use of force, meaning that whatever force is used must be proportional to the danger or the threat that is envisaged or that is being faced by the holder of the time, he said, pointing to another incident, which also took place on Tuesday in Sam Sharp Square, Montego Bay, involving a shootout between two licensed firearm holders in the busy town. Just based on what we saw and have not seen the entire video, the gentleman in the white merino seemed to be acting outside of a use of force policy and a response to danger. You don't go hunting and you don't go on the offensive with somebody. You must seek at all times to ensure that once the danger is abated and the risk no longer exists, you must resile and retreat, the FLA CEO said. Darlin adding that the FLA is pushing to have that incident investigated within a week. What we require is that the individuals at least state what happened. We're not conducting a criminal investigation. We want to see whether the individuals acted appropriately and whether the public space was endangered given what happened there, he said. Further, Darlin said that the FLA does not conduct a psychiatric evaluation of a person when considering whether to grant them a firearm license. However, in the due diligence, an assessment is done of the individual's temperament. The person's general demeanor is assessed and the background checks include going into their community, speaking to their spouse, former spouse, family members, co-workers, and that gives you a general idea of the person's general temperament, he explained, adding that the decision to grant a license is not entirely based on whether the individual is law-abiding. That's why there is a complaint that the FLA turns down a lot of persons, although they say the person is a law-abiding citizen. That is okay, but that doesn't mean that they are a fit and a proper person to hold a firearm, he pointed out. There are just over 45,000 licensed firearm holders in the island. Operation Clean Sweep. 4 men alleged to be involved in the international drug trade were nabbed by local and overseas law enforcement teams in Montego Bay and Kingston and St. Andrew in the wee hours of Wednesday morning, were on the police's radar for quite some time, the news has learned. It is, however, unclear how long they were under surveillance before the authorities set in motion Operation Clean Sweep. The Jamaica Constabulary Force meanwhile confirmed on Wednesday that one of their own was among those arrested during the operation. Extradition warrants have been issued by the United States for 2 of the accused men. According to the police, about 4:45 a.m. Wednesday, law enforcement led 5 simultaneous operations across Montego Bay and Kingston and St. Andrew in search of 5 men believed to be major players in transnational narco-trafficking. Director of Communications of the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, Major Basil Jarrett, said that 4 men were picked up during the synchronized and highly coordinated joint operations. The capture, he said, was a collaborative effort involving the Narcotics Division of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, MOCA, the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigations Branch, the Fugitive Apprehension Team, the Financial Investigations Division, the Jamaica Defense Force, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, and the U.S. Marshals Service. The raids resulted in the seizure of 6 motor vehicles involving 2 Mercedes-Benz, a Toyota Tacoma, a Honda CR-V, and a BMW motor car. Laptops, tablet computers, cell phones, and large quantities of cash were also seized. The teams in Montego Bay confiscated US $6,785, 11 cell phones, and the BMW motor car. In Kingston, US $40,723, Canadian $29,190, and Jamaican $530,750 were seized, along with a licensed Glock pistol and 132 live rounds of ammunition. 19 cell phones, 28 SIM cards, and other items were taken from the scene to be used as evidence. Due to the absence of their attorneys on Wednesday, the 4 men have not yet been questioned by the police. A 5th person who was targeted in the operations was still at large. We haven't released any of the names yet as the men have not been officially charged. It all depends on how soon they can get their lawyers together. Certainly, we would like to see it happen sooner than later. It is possible we could be looking at them being charged today. 2 are to be extradited. We are not sure if they will waive their right to an extradition hearing, but the U.S. is interested in them. The mere fact that Uncle Sam is interested in them speaks volumes. We have been tracking them and their activities for some time. Those who are not wanted by the U.S., we have an interest in them, Major Jarrett told the news on Wednesday. After they are charged, more details are expected to follow, outlining the particular crimes to which the men have been linked, said the police. A U.S. Embassy spokesperson praised the Jamaican lawmen and highlighted the collaboration between the Jamaican and the U.S. governments, as well as their respective law enforcement agencies, in the fight against transnational drug trafficking. Jamaicans were meanwhile encouraged to use tip lines, online portals, and social media pages to report what they know about organized illicit activities, including the trafficking of illegal drugs, weapons, as well as lottery scamming taking place in their communities. Ammunition bust in St. James linked to fatal shooting, police say. The police have disclosed that Wednesday evening's large ammunition seizure in Lilliput, St. James, is linked to the fatal shooting of a man on the Rose Hall Main Road in the parish hours earlier. Andre Young of Lilliput was killed just after 3 p.m. as he was driving along the main road. It's reported that Mr. Young, 34, had just left home when he was pounced on and shot. Superintendent Carlos Russell, commanding officer for the St. James Police Division, told the news that a targeted operation was carried out in the community based on information that the perpetrators were from Lilliput. He said when the police approached the property in the community, 3 men ran into bushes and escaped. The police searched the premises and found more than 100 rounds of assorted ammunition and 2 firearms, an AR-15 rifle and a 9mm pistol. Superintendent Russell said the shooting of Mr. Young is linked to lottery scamming.
In response to a murder that was committed along the Rosal Main Road yesterday, the police would have carried out a targeted operation in the Bobman Hill area, that is Lilliput, St. James, where they will target a premises. On the approach of the police, 3 men would have run into bushes at the rear of the premises. Police gave chase, however, they escaped. Search was conducted, and 2 firearms, a AR-15 rifle, along with a 9mm pistol, was found, along with 93 5.56 cartridges, as well as 12 9mm cartridges. Despite what we are picking up, there seems to be some conflict in the area, which is lottery scam related.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.